With Dragon Ball Super Episode 18 airing yesterday, it was the start of the long-awaited Ressurection F Saga. I thought that not much was gonna go down in this episode, but to my surprise, it was a really solid Saga debut. Getting right into it, the episode starts off with Goku and Whis making it back to Beerus' planet, greeting Vegeta and the Oracle Fish. Now, you have to take into consideration that Goku has not seen Vegeta for half a year. Vegeta has just been training with Whis on Beerus' planet. With that said, Goku compliments Vegeta and says you've gotten a lot stronger over these months. To be honest, I'm not sure who's stronger between the two as of right now, because we did find out that not only Goku can sense God Ki, now Vegeta has reached the point where he can sense God Ki as well, on top of all that training he's been doing. And just to mention, Goku has not been training hard these past few months because of all the hard work Chi-Chi asks of him. I don't think he's necessarily getting weaker, I think he's getting stronger, but at a really slow pace, not compared to how Vegeta is just training every day and getting stronger. But moving on, Vegeta explains and shows Goku the chores that they have to complete every day before getting to training. It ranges from changing Beerus' bed sheets and blanket while he's sleeping, to gardening the plants outside. But going back to changing Beerus' bed sheets, this scene was probably my favorite part in the episode just because of the amount of comedic relief it gave off. I say this because while Beerus was sleeping, he was still punching, kicking, and choking Goku and Vegeta. I don't know, it might sound dumb hearing me say it, but animated, it was definitely hilarious, and I recommend you guys go check it out if you haven't. Towards the end of the episodes, the Saiyans and Whis begin their training, but beforehand, Whis gives Goku his new training gi, and in my opinion, I think it looks a lot better than his old one. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. I have a handful of people who prefer Goku's old gi, and then there's a handful of people who like his new gi, and I'm on the side that says, you know, his new gi looks a lot better, more professional, and just cleaner. But moving on to their training, they are told to lift these blocks up with their forearms and run a lap around the planet. And these blocks are obviously heavy, they're not just going to be light, so Goku, he's struggling getting his up, Vegeta, he's struggling getting his up, and Whis tells Vegeta, I actually doubled the weight of yours because he's already been training, and I'm assuming that he can lift up the block that Goku has easy. So yeah, they're starting to move on this track that Whis has set up for them to go around the planet, and every few steps that they take, part of the path behind them would disappear, and Whis says, if you fall into the path behind you, you're just gonna get transported to a new dimension where you can never return. But oddly, throughout their walking on this path with these things on their forearms, they get teleported to Beerus' sleeping quarters, and mid-sleep, Beerus shoots both of them with a strong ki blast. Like, I don't know if it was point blank, but I think it was pretty close, and it was just a direct impact. I think Whis teleported them there to see how durable their bodies are, because he called it quote-unquote training, and after this entire thing happened, he said that's enough training for today. Before the episode ends, we do have a few more important parts, like the conversation between Oracle Fish and Whis. Oracle Fish basically says if they keep training like this every day, they're pretty much just gonna die, and he suggests that they turn into Super Saiyans when they train. Whis responds by saying they need to be able to raise their ki and train in their base forms or they won't become stronger. And that's how I pretty much look at it. I think your base form should be strong on its own, then use the Super Saiyan forms if your back is against the wall and you need it to get out of a sticky situation. And doing this would obviously conserve a lot of energy in battle. But moving on, just like the movie, we see Goku and Vegeta sparring with Whis to see what they need to work on, and Whis tells them they need to think before they act, and that's what slows them down in battle. And what this means is that if they were able to have all of their body parts think for themselves and react without hesitation, they would be much more efficient. He also goes on to say that Beerus hasn't even mastered this technique yet. And I can assume that Whis has mastered this technique because Goku asks him like, can you do all this stuff? And Whis just simply says, of course I can. And that just goes to show you again, the power gap between Goku, Vegeta, Beerus, all compared to Whis. Like, Whis is so strong. I really want to see him fight in these upcoming episodes of Super. Maybe like Vados versus Whis, that would be cool, but I don't know if I could see that happening. Maybe. Just maybe. Second to last thing of the episode, we did get a small tease of Sorbet and a few of the other elite Frieza soldiers. They're just talking about needing to retreat from a planet that some of the men are getting overran at. Nothing really too important with them yet, but next episode is when they get into actually reviving Frieza, so that's gonna be hype as fuck. But lastly in the episode, we all saw this from the preview of episode 17, I believe. Champa and Vados are finally shown in the anime. We don't know too much of what they're doing right now. All that's shown is them going from planet to planet destroying them in hopes of finding something that, to my knowledge, is unidentified yet. And that pretty much sums up this review. It was a really packed episode with a lot of important parts, and I'll definitely be back next Sunday to talk about Dragon Ball Super episode 19. So leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new to the channel, leave your thoughts on the episode down below, and all that good stuff. But I'm XpertGamer. Peace out, everybody.